So this is like my fifth time trying to record this. Um, Hello, first of all. So I made this RAM design here, and I thought it was kind of interesting. So how it basically works is first of all, it uses a lot of command blocks, so it's not survival friendly at all. And the command blocks basically just make everything faster and just easier to work with. So bits are stored, zeros are the glass blocks, and one is redstone blocks. This bit right here is or this like section is the input and the control. And like down here is the input as well. And this bottom part here is the decoders, one for the X coordinate of this register and one for the Y coordinate. You can see it's split down the middle there. So this left is the Y, this right is the X. And it's just a 4-bit decoder, but 15 lines, or 16 lines, so 0 through 15. I just can't speak today. But anyway, so this grid of bytes is 16 by 16, so 256 bytes, and it's 8 bits wide, so that's where the bytes are. Anyway, and so this section down here and this section right here are the reading and writing. This like row here and this bit here does the writing, and then this bit here and this little bit here does the reading, and then the output is back here, this section right here. So that's where the read goes right there. So and actually I can clear that. So we have 0 on the output right now, 0 on the inputs. This top part right here, this input right here is the bytes, and down here is the coordinates of like which register it's going into. So right now it's set to 0, 0. So it's going to put it in this bottom left corner, so that's the 0, 0 register. And it just counts up to 15 up there and out 15 there, so that's X 15, and then Y 15, and then X 15, Y 15, both. So that would be X 0, and then like Y 15, Y 0, X 15, and then yeah. Anyway, you get the point. It's just a grid counting up that way. So how it works basically is it takes the byte input and it puts it into this register right here, whatever byte you're inputting. And it condenses it down from like separated lines, so you can see these have a space in between. So it condenses it down so that there's no spaces in between, just to make this as condensed as possibly can be as far as storing bits. So really the only denser you could get this is like by storing hexadecimal or something with like music disks, which technically this could do potentially, but I haven't messed around with that yet. So we're just storing bits for now. So each block is a bit, and glass is 0, redstone block is 1. So for instance, if we put like 1 0 1 0 1 0 1 1, let's say, so it's going to write that down here into this register, so 1 0 1 0 1 0 1 1. So the first like step in this process to like store it is to like put it in this like X row first. So it's going to copy whatever's in this register into this row here. So right now it's on the 0, so like X 0. So it's going to put it in the first one here, or the 0th one, whatever you want to call it. And then it's going to clone whatever's in this row and everything in the row. It's a masked clone, so it's not going to clone air. That's why it's all air down there. Or in this like like where these diamond in between these diamond blocks here. But it's going to clone whatever's in there into whatever y coordinate you have. So we have y0, which means it's going to put it right in this bottom left coordinate here. So that's going to just work like that. And there you go. It's cloned there. And then you clear whatever's in that bottom row there just to get rid of it there. And then you can put 0 for your input, and it's gonna put this register back wherever, and then it's still stored. So now to read that byte, so currently we have 0 over there. To read that byte, we're still on the 0 0 coordinate. We're gonna pull the entire x column, so it's gonna pull that first column there, so you can see all the glass blocks and then where our byte is stored. And then, so technically you can have like other bytes stored in there, right? And then the next thing is to pull the specific y coordinate you need. So that's what this one does. So it pulls whatever, y coordinate we're set to, which we're set to the 0 1. So it's going to just pull that one, and it's going to place it into this column here, or this register here, which then separates it back out into split. So here's our output 1 0 1 0 1 0 1 1, and then you clear your y, and so it's going to clear this entire what's in between these diamond blocks back here. But then this is obviously maintained on the output. So we're just going to go ahead and clear that real quick though. So now, like, let's say we just want to store like another byte, so 1 0 0 1 1 0 0 1. Let's just add another 1 in there. So 1 0 0 1 1 0 1 1. And let's say we want to put that in the 6th row or 6th column, so x6, and then y8, let's say. So it's going to change the register or the decoders down here to the 6th and the 8th line. And so if we put it in the activate the x first, it's going to clone that to the 6th column. So this is 0 1 2 3 4 5 6, and then we activate the y to put that in the correct register, and it's going to put it in the 8th column or 8th row. So 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. And then again, you clear your x, just that bottom register down there. But then, so let's say we want to keep the same row, but different column. So we'll just put it in the, well, yeah, that's fine. The 4th column now. So same process, activate the x first, so it pulls it into the correct column. So 0 1 2 3 4. And then we just shove it up to that same row, and it's going to put it, so that was the 6th one, so 5 4. And then again we clear our x. Oh, there we go. And just so it clears that bottom row there. So then we want to, let's say we, again, just to demonstrate the read now. So same column, different row. So let's just add 2 to that. So it's going to put it in the 10th row. And actually, I'm just going to go ahead and, so I have a right, instead of clicking all those, I can just click this one and it's going to put it there. It does that same exact process I was doing a second ago. But anyway, so it puts that there. So then now if we want to read that specific byte, again, we click that, so it's going to pull that whole column, and you can see that's the 2, but then we're just going to pull, so if I, okay, so for example, let's change the byte real quick. Let's just delete this 1 right there, or actually let's just delete both of those, and let's rewrite that, so you can see it just rewrote back to that single 1 there. And then we want to read that again, so it should just delete those 2 right there. And yep, it just pulled that same column, and then we read that specific byte. So it's the 1001100, which is that specific row right there that we are set on. But then if we want to read that row right there, so it's back to the 8th row, Y8, we can just read that one, and then it's going to pull that one. So it's the 1001111. You can see that's what's pulling from there. Anyway, and then you can clear your Y there, and it's going to just clear this entire column there. We'll just go ahead and clear this real quick. So yeah, I also have a read right here, so I can just read that real quick, and it's going to do that exact same process. So it's going to read that specific and then clear it. It's pretty simple, and I use glass blocks because I would use air, but how this works with the masked, it ignores air, and that's just to make it functionally easier and less command blocks. So it does add a little bit of time. Like, let's see, I have to put a tick in between here, just because if you don't put a tick in between these activations, sometimes it's too quick for the redstone blocks to actually like get there in time. So I just put a tick delay in between each of these activations, so it's pretty quick. The whole process, reading and writing, should just be, well, 1-2 ticks delay, depending. So like if we were to do, let's just put 100110001, and we'll put that in 1515. So let's just activate that there. We activate the write, so it's going to put that in the 15th there, and then if we want to read that, it's going to pull that back over here. So yeah, pretty simple. It's not like too crazy, but it is a decent RAM, very compact. The entire volume of this is what I just typed there, 19 by 36 by 28. So it's 19 wide here, or like, length-wise, and then the width here is 36, and then the height is 28. So yeah, 19. Well, really, this is the width, but whatever. It doesn't really matter. So 19 this way, 36 this way, and then 28 high. So it's a pretty small area relative for 256 bytes. So technically, if you stack 4 of these beside each other, 4 of these like individual units, you'd get a kilobyte. So that's pretty cool. And then, so if you wanted a megabyte, you would have to put 64 of these together. So that would get kind of big quick, but a megabyte in this small amount of space would be pretty good for just storing binary, like bits. And like I said a second ago, you could probably store hexadecimal with the music disks. So theoretically, if you swapped out these redstone blocks with jukeboxes with a music disc stored in them, that's a 1 block where you can store a hexadecimal value. And so basically you would multiply your storage by 16. So instead of 256 bytes, this would be 4,096 just in this small space. And with this same exact unit here, if you're storing jukebox music discs, so you're storing hexadecimal, you would store 4,096 bytes, which would be 4 kilobytes. And So this right here could theoretically be 4 kilobytes if you're storing hexadecimal instead of binary. But I'm just storing binary for now. But it would be a fairly simple process to store jukeboxes instead of redstone blocks with how this is set up right now. And all these command blocks are relative coordinates, so these are all just relative coordinates using the tilde mark. So technically, none of these are hard coordinates, meaning that I can just clone this entire zone. And I can't remember the specific area of what you're allowed to clone, but 19 by 28 by 36 is 19,152 blocks. So, which I believe is below the limit of what you're allowed to clone. So technically you could clone this entire unit wherever you need it, so I could duplicate it pretty quickly to get like a second unit or a third or a fourth. So if you were to store hexadecimal, like I said, so a single one of these would be 4 kilobytes. So if you had 4 of these, that would be 16 kilobytes. And then yeah, so pretty neat. In order to get up to, I said earlier you would need, I think, 64 of these to get a megabyte. I don't think that's true. I think you'd need a lot more to get a megabyte. So 256 bytes times, well, yeah, you need a lot more units to get a megabyte. Sorry, I misspoke. But yeah, this again, this works pretty quick, and you can pretty easily store in any one of these registers. Again, it's command block, so it's not user friendly or not survival friendly at all. But yeah, you can do a lot with this, I feel like. So let me, yeah, that's pretty much it. If it's people are desperate, I can, do a world download with this. But yeah, or I can go through more in depth how this is working, and I can explain each command block if you want me to, but it's fairly simple in how it works. It didn't take me too long. This took me a day to do, but I've had this idea in my head for a while, and yeah, so again, this is about as dense as you can get it. I mean, the bits are literally right next to one another in this entire glass area. So yeah. Yeah, again, that's pretty much it. Yeah. Appreciate anyone who decided to watch. Yeah, don't have much else to say. Yeah.